Well, welcome to tonight's show. You're with Tom, Brian and Steve, and this is NRL from the Sidelines. And right now we are going to preview round 10 of the NRL, which is coming up. This is Magic Round, gentlemen.
Magic Round.
How exciting. Magic Round, all being played in Brisbane.
Sucks.
Yes.
Sucks. Bites it big time. Hate it.
You should bring it to Bankwest. That would be great.
I'd go.
Yeah.
Well, some of us go.
I'd go for 3 days. My wife would hate it. I'd go for 3 days.
Why didn't you go to Brisbane?
I'm not flying to Brisbane.
And if you look at the games, it
man.
wasn't a good weekend to go anyway. So.
Yeah, it's a great weekend to go. Let's talk about the first game.
All right, let's talk about the Suncorp.
It's all at
Suncorp.
Suncorp.
First game on the Friday night. So there's no Thursday
night game. Yeah.
West Tigers and the Newcastle Knights.
Why does my NRL app say it's Friday night then, gentlemen?
Yeah, so
Yes,
Friday.
there's no Thursday night.
Right. I thought you said yes, Thursday.
No. No.
Right. Friday night game. Got ya. I'm with it.
So, should we start again? Hi, we're and this is NRL from the Sidelines, and we're going to talk about round 10.
Super round.
Okay. So, Suncorp. West Tigers and the Newcastle Knights.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. This is an interesting matchup.
Which West Tigers is going to turn up?
Well, it's a different West Tigers.
Why is it a different West Tigers?
Well, it's a different West Tigers because Mbai and Brooks are in the halves and Dewey's moved back to the centres.
Centres?
Really?
Why would you
wasted there.
move
Goodness me.
your best attacking weapon to the centres?
Okay, well, last night's show we said, Madge is a good coach. I'm starting to question that. He's the only one who's moving that team forward. He's the only one.
And
Mbai's not a decent
Little's moved back to hooker, so they've given him the flick.
What side is he playing on?
The Tigers.
Side of the field. Oh, for goodness sake. See, Tom has a good one in 20.
I'm tired. Okay.
We can tell.
And they get worse when I'm tired.
Oh, that's great.
So how could you tell what side he's playing?
Well, I'm just wondering who he's standing up against. So, because I thought maybe it was against Bradman Best, but Best isn't playing. So.
Best is playing.
Okay.
Yep, he's there.
He's up.
I'm just wondering if he's been put there to try and defend against Bradman Best.
He has, yeah. But it's not going to do him any good. Bradman Best, if they're marking him, they'll just go to Ponga. So
yeah, I know. But you know what? If Bradman Best would run over the top of Moses Mbai almost every tackle. So, I understand he's trying to do something. I'm just not sure moving your best player out of position is going to do it for you.
Yeah, well, maybe he thinks defence is more important in these games at the moment.
Well, they got nothing. And I'm on the Knights.
You're on the Knights.
I'm on the Knights this week. I can't.
I'll go the Knights.
I keep picking against them because I'm looking at it going, Kurt Mann, Phoenix Crossland.
They're a confidence team, the Knights, and they will have gained some confidence out of that.
I'm going to go Tigers.
As you do.
I'm going to go, what? Because they're a Brisbane side?
No, because you
and Madge. Yeah, you like Madge. You've always got your reasons, and it's got very little to do with the football.
I'm a loyal person.
Why? Madge stabbed you guys in the back and left.
Madge didn't stab us, we stabbed him.
Did you get that?
Okay, let's go on to the next game on the Friday night with Manly Seagulls playing the Brisbane Broncos.
Now, I have a question. I have a question for Des. Last week, Des, you put Moses Suli on the bench. We started to run out of gas, and you didn't play him. This week, Des, you put Moses Suli on the bench. Are you going to play him?
But you won last week.
You were running out of steam at points. I don't understand why you put a specialised centre on the bench.
I thought he was a winger.
But he could double as a back rower.
Yeah.
If your back rowers go down, you could put Suli in there.
My goodness. He doesn't get involved in the centres. How's he going to survive at back row?
I don't know. That's your problem.
Okay, so your tip is...
Manly.
Broncos. Yep.
Yeah, look, I think Manly will have enough to beat them.
Excuse me. Tom will score 3 tries this week and have 7 try assists.
And I'm going to 2 hamstring injuries.
I'm going to go Broncos.
Why? Don't you dare. Don't you put the curse on Tom.
I just did.
He did.
No, but you don't count.
How am I? Why do I count for putting curses on and he doesn't?
Well, you've picked the Broncos.
Yeah, it's at home.
Well, who'd you pick in the first game, the home team?
Well, yes, actually, I did. Actually, this is an away game at home. This will suit the Broncos down to the ground.
Yes.
And I'm telling you,
please.
the Broncos will win this game.
No, not a chance.
Okay, if Manly win this game, you're hosting next week's show. Okay, let's go on to the next game on Saturday
Yeah, go on.
Saturday afternoon
Where are we playing at, Steve?
at Suncorp Stadium,
Excellent.
where the Canterbury Bulldogs are playing the Canberra Raiders at home. It's a home game for the Dogs.
Yeah, they'll feel right at home.
This will be the game that plays the Raiders back into form.
Really? They're not going to have to really play that hard to win this one.
Look, I'm picking the Raiders. I have to.
I won't be picking the Raiders by many, although I don't have to give a score, but I don't think they'll win by many, honestly. Because I think they're still in disarray, but they've got enough to beat the Bulldogs.
I think they will. I think once they start scoring, the Dogs will just open up.
Okay.
So, 3 changes for the Raiders, though.
Which are?
Jordan Rapana. How does he like to say how his name's it?
Rapana.
Rapana is out. Joseph Tapani and Ryan Sutton are all out. I don't know whether that's a good thing or not. That's all.
Can I announce the next game?
Why?
So the 5:30 game is 48-0, plays 50-0.
That was worth it.
So, what do you reckon, Steve?
Well,
You have to win because you actually lost by. Oh no, you can't win because you lost by 2 more.
do you realise my boss is ringing me right now? Seriously, he's ringing me right now.
Well, you
Just hang up on him. You're busy.
Put it on pause.
I'll let
All
you know
right.
that we're doing
And
the
we'll
show.
finish the show in 2 hours.
All right, Tom, what's your pick for that game, just out of curiosity?
Yeah, the Rabbitohs will want to bounce back.
Well, hang on. We always talk about the bounce back factor, and yes, the Rabbitohs will bounce back, but so will the Sharks.
No, they won't.
But the Rabbitohs are let's face it, Rabbitohs are a much better quality side than the Sharks. Let's face it. On their day.
Adam Reynolds is back.
Yeah.
He'll be
So
kicking.
all of a sudden, all your worries are over because Adam Reynolds is back, and you're going to really, really suck and be depressed next year. Yeah.
So we're all on the Rabbits.
Yep.
We don't even need to ask Steve. He always picks the Rabbits.
I said before, I'm a loyal person.
When you guys come in your cycle and you're right down the bottom of the ladder and you come in like last, second last
With
again.
Manly.
No, we're back on the rise now, mate.
Right, okay.
I want to know if you're still going to pick him.
I can tell you now that I picked them for every single game where we came last, or every year where we came last.
All right.
I turned up to not every.
And
game.
Sally would
Turned
say
up-
that, according to her system, that's exactly why they finished last.
You keep picking them.
Picking them.
I would turn up at stadiums where Souths were playing and get hammered, and I'd walk out that day and say we're
With
gonna
his
win
other
next
4
week.
friends.
No,
Rabbitohs
I don't
friends?
have any friends when I go
His
to
other
football.
four Rabbitohs friends.
I go to football by myself because I'm horrible like that. All right, let's go to Suncorp Stadium, where the Sydney Roosters are playing North Queensland.
7:45.
Yeah. I'm going to go the Roosters on that one.
Yeah.
I think, when you lose a Morris and you bring in Ikavalu, and when you lose a Hutchinson and you bring in Lockie Lamb, I don't think it's any loss to him.
And there's a chance Suwali might get a run this week, because if Walker's got a shoulder injury and he's been nursing for a while,
I was going to ask,
and he
is
didn't
Walker
high ankle sprain. He was in a moon boot on the way out
Yep.
the game. They might want to rest him just for precautionary sake, which means Manu possibly moving to the halves, which is interesting because we've never had him in the halves before. He must have some history there. And the reshuffle would mean Suwali would very likely fit into the on the wing. No, he fit in the centres. Sorry, he'd go in the centres in Manu's place. So, he should have debuted last week.
No.
But he may play this week. Anyway, so I'm going the Battlers from Bondi. Well, they're battling at the moment.
I'm probably leaning towards the Roosters, but I wouldn't be surprised to see North Queensland victory.
Yep, I agree with you. I think they're playing some solid footy.
Whether
Albeit,
they can do it 2 weeks in a row, though.
yeah, I'll back our defence. Our defence has been exceptional. Yes, we let 31 points in, but for the most of that game, our defence was very, very good.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, the next game on Sunday afternoon, 1:50 on Sunday, is the Warriors against the Parramatta Eels.
I have a question.
I have an answer.
You probably don't.
Okay, sure.
I want to know why, when all of the clubs were told there is a biosecurity hazard, do not have your players play in the reserve grade comp. Parramatta decided to do it anyway, and now want exemptions.
And you know what the answer was to them? No and yes, because there's no. You can't send your players to Brisbane. You can't let them train in the bubble. But as soon as you get to Brisbane, if you have a negative test, then they can play for you. So it's a definite maybe, and I think that stinks.
Absolutely.
Because if they beat, I think they played the North Sydney Bears. I don't know what the result was, but I mean, they got an unfair advantage, and now they're getting another unfair advantage.
Well, it's not.
Well, no, they didn't get an unfair advantage. They decided to roll the dice. But then they're going to get an unfair advantage because everybody else took their players out of their New South Wales Cup.
Yep. Oh, I mean, it's just typical of Parramatta.
Oh, I don't know.
No. Excuse me. It's typical of Parramatta.
You're not objective when it comes to Parramatta.
They bend the rules and they think the world belongs to them.
Not objective. So
No.
Yeah.
That's all right. There's only like 3 players there that shouldn't be, but that's okay.
Like what?
So Jacob Arthur
Yep.
is listed at 5'8".
Coach's son.
Yep.
They're playing some good footy.
Ray Stone on the interchange bench, and Joey Lussick and Jordan Rankin have come up as travelling reserves.
Yep. So who's going to win this one?
I think the Eels will win.
Marnie might not be playing because he failed his HIA.
Excuse me.
It was a bad hit.
He better play because he's in my Supercoach team.
That doesn't matter.
And it hurt me last week. If he'd scored his points, I would have won.
Brian, who's going to win?
I picked the Eels.
No. Tom?
Look, you'd have to be on the Eels, but I think the Warriors are one of those teams where they could pull out a really good performance this week against a diminished Eels side and maybe beat them. So probably the Eels, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was an upset.
All right. Next game is Melbourne Storm against the George Illawarra Dragons.
By how many?
Let's take a look at some outs and see what a professional club does. No Brandon Smith, no Harry Grant, no Cameron Munster. And I look at their team and I go, huh? Is anyone missing?
Well, Riley Jacks is no
slouch.
Munster, but he's no Munster.
No.
But they haven't lost much. And no Grant. That's right. So who's playing 9? Kenny Bromwich is playing 9.
Yep.
Wow.
With Tyson Smoothie on the interchange.
Tyson Smoothie.
It's a heck of a size. Standing in the middle of the scrum. This is big lump.
Yes.
I don't know. Yeah. So
I've been curious. Is Tom Eisenhuth and the other Eisenhuth at the Tigers?
Yeah,
I
think they're brothers.
They're brothers.
Yeah.
Okay. They look like brothers.
Okay, give me a margin, gentlemen.
Jeez. I think that they'll win by 20.
26.
26.
Yep.
Yeah, I would say 18 to 20. I think St George is really going to have to do something.
I want to know who's going to be kicking. Because let's face it, Cameron Munster can't miss 5 if he's not there.
So the last,
I reckon Hughes might be a kicker.
Finished?
Hughes.
The last game of the weekend at Suncorp Stadium is Gold Coast Titans against the Penrith Panthers.
Same deal.
This is going to be another hammering.
Yep.
Because I don't care what Fafita and Tino throw at them, they won't stop the Panthers.
No.
Jeez. Kurt Capewell goes out, Liam Martin comes in. Jeez. The Panthers are like the Storm, it doesn't matter. No. I'll just bring out someone else.
Oh, that's right.
I think that the Panthers will win this with a significant amount of ease.
I think the only chance of the Panthers losing a game, and there's not even certain then, is during Origin, because they will lose a significant number of players in Origin. But they've got a lot of backup, and they've got a good system in place where they might not even lose. I mean, for instance, like Matt Burton will replace one of the halves.
Yeah,
and I'll bet you they'll pull somebody else out of their hat for a half. Tyrone May. There you go. So, anyway.
All right, so that brings us to the end for that round. But here's what I wanted to talk about.
Yep.
So the NRL have come out now for this next round and said they are going to get tough on players getting hit in the head.
Which is what they said last week and didn't do
correct,
anything about
but
it.
we're talking send-offs. We're talking... Okay, I want to say, be careful what you wish for. Because in the case of Fafita, if I remember rightly, was it Fafita? Yes, maybe. A slap around the head is not going to be, should not be, enough for a send-off.
Yep.
But all of a sudden, the pressure is now on the refs, who, by the way, a couple have been stood down because of some silly stuff they did last week. And I get it. I understand it.
Trust me, I get it. I understand they've got to look after player welfare, but there was a tackle in the Manly Warriors game where Sean Kepi went to go through and Tahu Harris was the front-on tackler, so he had 3 in the tackle, and he's dropped down, and it looked on first replay as though Tahu Harris had dropped his knee straight onto the middle of his forehead. And I'm thinking, that's a send-off. Like, if the ref had seen it the way that I had seen it the first time, he's off.
Yep.
Absolutely. It was a glancing blow, and looks like the 3 men in the tackle did more damage. We shouldn't be looking at that.
But the theory... But
mind you, and you know why they looked at it? He stayed down and went, oh, my neck.
Yeah.
But the theory is that the ref can say to the bunker, can you have a look at that for me? and that's what should happen on Friday night. And that's what should be happening there. They can go, oh, well, we had 6 looks at this, and no, he didn't make contact with his knees.
But I don't want to see the game continually stop while the bunker has 6 looks at it.
No.
But do you also want a player to get sent off and later on, you win the game and everybody bleats that, they should have won the game because the player got sent off?
I want players to... Jack Hetherington got 8 weeks or whatever it was for his high hit on Val Holmes, where Val Holmes wrong-footed him, stuck out an arm, hit him straight in the mush. Val Holmes went bang, straight over, got up. That's what I want to see. And then the ref can go, oh, hang on a second, saw what happened, player's not injured, well, I still think the send-off there was a bit harsh, but...
The NRL, like I said, need to be careful what they wish for.
Yep.
Because if you do this, all of a sudden, they're going to be feigning send-off. And if this happens in the first 15, 20 minutes of the game, they're off for the next 60 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
And 10 minutes in the sin bin is one thing. But if you lose a player for 60 minutes, this is drastic. And you watch it. If this happens too much, in 3 or 4 weeks' time, we're going to be complaining about the refs are just being overreacting.
And you'll be saying your team has been penalised by one player.
Like I said, it's the players that are doing it to themselves, though, because of that continual feigning of injuries.
Okay. Another thing I want to talk about, Jack de Belin. Now, I don't want to go into his whole thing. He's had, 3 court cases?
Two.
And they've all been tied. Mm-hmm. Do we let him back on the field? Is it time that this stand-down rule says, listen, this has gone on for so long and we still don't have a result? Do we put him back on?
Our court system doesn't move fast enough to destroy an athlete's livelihood. So... this court case should have been over and done with within months of it happening because it was a serious event. We're now talking nearly 2 years later.
Yep.
And, did he do it or not? I don't know.
It's not
I'm not sitting on there. I don't want those. I'll be perfectly honest. Willie Mason came out during the week and I've never had much of an opinion of Willie Mason.
Careful what you say here.
That's all right. He's bigger than me. I'll be very polite. And he has said that, in his opinion, there's too much abuse of women happening in rugby league by players. Yeah. He said if those players are caught, they should be heaved out forever.
Yep.
Full stop, and that's it.
No problem with it.
And
now, I agree with that. But when our court system takes 2 years to have no decision made, what do you do?
That's right. And that's my point.
What do you do? And you know what? And Manly have got, Mansi Whanaua coming up for court in July. What happens if by the end of the year that still isn't sorted? What if we another 12 months later and then it's still undecided?
Yep.
It's ridiculous.
And I'm old fashioned, and I think this is symptomatic of a society where consensual or non-consensual sex is the way it is, and therefore it blurs the lines. And I'm not saying I can't say who was at fault and who was not, but when you open yourself up to that, then it just becomes a huge, incredible mess. And we're never going to change that.
You would
that
think
about
though.
society,
You would think though that the NRL would have learnt from the Brett Stewart case, where it was, where there were false accusations made.
I know this is going to come across as a political statement, but Israel Folau cannot even get back at all. And where was his court case? Where was he tried? Where was he convicted?
Court of public opinion.
Yeah. Look, I agree. Look, I'm inclined to say yes, there should be a lengthy suspension, but then I don't want them playing the game if they've been guilty. So
that's right.
I'm still on the fence. I just wish our court system would move faster.
Correct. Yeah. For Jack de Bellin's sake, he either goes to jail or he gets acquitted. One way or the other. You want justice to be served quickly, because if in fact he is acquitted, and I have my own opinions about that whole kind of behaviour, but if he's acquitted according to the law, then his 2 years of his career is down the drain.
Yep, and you can't just make those 2 years up. It's not like he sits in an office and types letters.
No.
Okay.
Yep.
Xavier Coates signed with Melbourne.
Is it official?
Yes.
Bother.
Why?
I don't want Melbourne to prosper.
You want the Roosters to prosper?
No. I just anybody but Melbourne. Just like Latrell going to the south, down to South. I don't want them to prosper. But then everybody says about the Roosters, and I get it. I'm biased.
I don't have a problem with it. He wasn't going anywhere at the Broncos.
I don't have a problem with it either. Adam Reynolds, it looks like he will sign with the Broncos.
More and more likely though.
Did you notice that Cronulla have come back and offered the same money, same terms as...
But not 4 years though.
Yes.
They have?
Same money, same terms as Brisbane.
And their attraction is it's in Sydney.
Adam Reynolds is going to be a bazillionaire by the time this is over.
Yeah.
South, what have you done?
But they're also selling the Queensland lifestyle to him and saying this is a great place for your family to settle.
Yeah.
Then his children, if they play football, will be Queenslanders. That will suck.
He's got 4 kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know what?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you must be sad to be losing him. There's
I
no
am
doubt.
sad to be losing him. Yeah. I'm hoping and I'm trusting that South have a contingency plan because...
Well, Hawkins wasn't setting the world on fire the other night.
Hawkins wasn't the problem. We had 12 players who couldn't tackle and Dane Gagai didn't.
Yeah. So is he being shopped around too?
Parramatta.
Okay.
Okay, gentlemen, thank you.
Is that it? I thought there was another one.
No.
Oh.
Why, did you want to bring up another one?
No.
He could talk all night.
I could talk all night. I love footy. I love footy. I could talk.
Okay.
You name it, I've got an opinion on it.
Anything intelligent?
Oh, really? I never noticed that.
Anything intelligent you want in the show?
Yeah, I hate Magic Round. I want to see the Broncos at Brookie.
Okay, Tom?
Bring Magic Round to Bankwest and I'll go. Go you battlers.
You're with Tom, Brian and Steve.
That's what I say it for. To get precisely that response. And
okay. I've completely lost interest in this now. You're with Tom, Brian and Steve, and this is Aaron from the Sidelines. Yes. And as we do it every time this week, we're going to... And no, thanks for watching, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.